I'm Mike Feller. I grew up here. I grew up in walking distance, East 57th Street between Avenue T and Avenue U on the landfilled salt marsh, and didn't have a sense until relatively recently that when I was born, the land that I lived on was only 8 years old. So 8 years before that, it was still salt marsh. And I think that's an important story. Wherever hard land starts, go back another quarter mile, for the most part north, and that was the extent of the salt marsh up until 1934.
So this is the Saltmarsh Bridge. When was this constructed?
This was part of the
Late 90s?
the 95-ish. Oh, hooded merganser. I don't see them very frequently here. You'll see them more on freshwater. So Phragmites, tropical grass, tropical, but it's distributed in the northern hemisphere. But this is not the native Phragmites. There's one species. It's on all continents except Antarctica. But there is no. I've never seen the native Phragmites except in the Southwest, in Pueblo country. I don't know where. Black walnut. I don't remember there being a black walnut out here.
Could it have been brought here by a bird?
Could have been brought here by a bird from million trees planted black walnuts. Black walnut, I always wanted one, and I never saw one in New York City until I was giving an early program I was doing with Margot. So my wife, who I met as urban park rangers, and her mother was on the tour, and this was before we were romantically involved. I got really excited. I found a black walnut, and I started digging into it with my Swiss Army knife screwdriver. So I dug out some of the nut meat, and I gave some of the tour participants some to taste. And then we continued on the walk, and my future mother-in-law leaned in and said, that's the man for you.
That was the moment.
That wasn't the moment. I always said that it was almost the kiss of death that her mother said, that's the man for you.